Kurt here. We finally found a tiller for our Coyote, or I should say it found us. I had advertised on Craigslist, and a gentleman called and said he had a tiller, and he brought it by, and we looked it over, and everything looked good. Here you'll see we checked it out on the guy's trailer. He didn't really want to unload and that, so we just tried it on the trailer, and it seemed real quiet and everything.
Sounds like they're quiet. Quiet. Sounds quiet.
Going to use the Coyote to pick it up off the back of the trailer, because he was going to unload his tractor with the tiller, and it's on an uphill driveway, and his ramps weren't very strong, so we didn't want him flipping his tractor. But when we went to take it off, the PTO is stuck on his tractor, the shaft is, so we're going to pick it up and slide it off, and then we'll deal with trying to get the PTO shaft off his tractor. But as you can see, it didn't really want to come off the 3-point either, and come to find out the arms are bent slightly. For some reason somebody bent the arms at one time, it looks like, and I'll show some pictures of how we fix it later and that. But as you can see, we have to pick it up and pull the PTO shaft apart and that, because the front just won't come off. It's stuck on his tractor. So we just picked it up with the loader, and now we're going to try to hook it up to the Coyote. But looking at it with the arms bent out, I wasn't for sure if it would fit or not, because they were bent out pretty good. I don't know why someone did that. And they even had them mounted on the inside. They're supposed to be, from the parts manual, it looks like they're supposed to be mounted on the outside straight. After 10 minutes of manhandling the tiller, they finally got it on the Coyote, then decided to tackle the PTO shaft, and after 30 minutes and 2 pry bars and a hammer, they finally got it off, and that it was just stuck, and we believe there was a burr on the teeth. It is a Befco tiller. He had actually used it that morning. He had it in his yard for the last few years, and his friend wanted his garden tillered. As you can see, it looks like he used it, and that he had a video where he showed us that he had used it that morning and that. But it all looks good and straight, just needs some paint and that. But it's supposed to be a 50-inch, I believe it's supposed to be a G50 Befco, I believe is how they pronounce it, and that. And we're getting ready to, right here, just looking it over, and here in a few minutes we'll be trying the PTO shaft to see how much we have to cut off on the shaft, or even if it'll fit. But it all slides back. The end of the PTO is pretty rusty. We got to do some oiling and cleaning on it, but it looks like it's going to be very close, so we'll probably have to cut it just a little. But if you can see, the arms are bent outward on the tiller for some reason. I don't know why somebody would have done that, but it makes it very hard to get it on and off, as you'll see here in a few minutes. because of the angle of the pins. So we're going to take it down and take it back off and start working on it. As you can see, we had to go get a crowbar to pull them off the pins, the 3-point arms off the pins. It was just at such angle from the arms being bent that it just would not let them come off easy. It even actually burred the lift arm a little at where the ball is, and we had to take a hammer and smack the ball to get it to spin again. But as you can see, it's the PTO shaft is pretty tight up front. It needs a lot of oil, and I believe the grease zerk is broke on it, so we got to replace that. But it's as you can see, the arms are bent outward, and they've got them mounted on the inside. From what I've seen in the book, they should be on the outside and they should be straight, but they're bent outward, so we're going to be taking them off. Hopefully they'll straighten in the hydraulic press. As you can see, they're bent pretty good outward, and then there's the gearbox and everything. The PTO shaft looks real good on the inside part that hooks to the gearbox, which it's just like the front half. You just push a button and it'll allow you just to slide it off the shaft on the gearbox. But it's all good and straight. It looks like there's only the arms need to be worked on. The gearbox has a oil leak. But as you can see, the front of the PTO must have been out in the weather for a long time, because it's pretty rusty and the pin was stuck and that. But then we got to not really fix, just put back the cover here that covers the shaft that allows, because this tiller slide is one of them that you can slide it to the right when you're sitting on the tractor. You can slide it to the right for offset. For some reason the cover was all folded in on itself, so we're just taking and putting it back together like it's supposed to be. But other than that, and the arms, really the only thing that we need to work on is the gearbox cover. But it looks real good and in shape, and that we'll just have to see how it works out. And he gets it snapped back together, and that's how it's supposed to be to cover the shaft. I believe they had it slid over at one time. If you look, you can see a mark there to the right and that. But again, like I said, the PTO shaft needs a little cleaning and work, and the 3-point arms we got to straighten. That's the major thing. I'm sorry, battery went dead. As you can see, we got the arms took off and straightened. The hydraulic press seemed to do a pretty good job. We remounted them on the outside. As you can see, it hitches up to the tractor pretty easy now. And I said earlier the gearbox was leaking. It's actually the chain drive cover is leaking. The gearbox is good. As you can see here, the chain cover, this is a chain drive model, is the cover's leaking. And we got the PTO broke loose a little and that. But as you can see, we got the arms straightened out pretty good. They both turned out pretty straight, but we're happy to find this one. Hopefully it'll be a good tiller. As few of you know, my older brother that passed away, he was going to buy the attachments for the Kioti because I got the tractor and he was going to get the attachments, but it didn't work out that way, so I'm happy to find this one. I only gave a little for it. I had to still wheel and deal for it, but price wise I couldn't pass it up and that, but I hope it turns out to be a decent tiller for what I need and that. But like I said, it's a good straight tiller. It looks like it needs a paint job is all and that. So, you know, I hope it does work out. I'll do a video of it when we get to use it. It's been raining and that, but it is a shear pin model, as you can see right there. It's not a slip clutch, and it is a chain drive, like I said. But you know, like I said, the gearbox is good. The chain cover is what's leaking on it, and what I've seen on other comments on forums and that, they got a habit of leaking. But you know, hopefully it'll work out. So thank you, and please check out these other great YouTube channels. They all have great videos and that, and I consider them friends, so please check them out. I'm sure you'll enjoy their videos. Thank you for looking, and God bless. Bye.